Has this ever happened to you? You're filming with a stabilizer and now you want to switch to a tripod. But each time you have to unscrew your current base plate, switch to your new base plate, and then switch back to your other base plate, and then switch base plates to go to this one, and then other to this one, and it's just not a practical option. But thankfully, there's this little guy. Hello, Simplicity. So like I said, this is the Zhiyun Quick Release plate. It's definitely one of the best options I've found for swapping gear quickly on the go. And this is just a really clever way to avoid having to unscrew and rescrew on new plates for different systems that you're using, whether it be a tripod, a gimbal, any kind of stabilizer. So as I mentioned, these are quick release plates from Zhiyun. They're universal, they work on everything. As long as it has the 1/4 inch by 20 thread, which is a very popular thread on cameras and tripods, you can put these on anything that you're using. Features a 1/4 inch threaded screw and the threaded hole design that applies to all cameras, lights, and other equipment that has the 1/4 inch threading screw receiving end. This is a very common thread, but if it isn't available on your camera or your tripod, there are ways to adapt to the 1/4 inch thread. It's an aluminum build, it's solid, it feels super good to use. It doesn't feel cheap or scary like it might let go at any minute. I've had this on my camera while I lean my gimbal over a balcony and I've had no issues. It doesn't pull out, it just locks in very securely, and it gives you peace of mind when you're filming. I think the biggest reason why people aren't using this is that it's a Zhiyun brand, and people think that it can only be used on Zhiyun products. But that is absolutely not true. I don't own anything by Zhiyun, and this works on everything I have. I have a Ronin gimbal, and it works on my Ronin gimbal. But yeah, basically everything I own is not Zhiyun besides these, and it works on everything. So let's go over how they work and the different uses that they have. So these mounts come as 2 different plates. One threads into the device you are using, and the other into any other source that you want to connect it with. It uses this really simple press to release system, and this is really good for anyone that works in a really fast-paced environment like weddings. I'm a wedding filmmaker, so these are on every piece of equipment I own for the wedding day. So you can push down the receiving end and insert the other piece that connects it. I shoot weddings solo, so I have 2 different tripods for the receptions, speeches, and I have these set up on each one of them, so I can just take my B cameras, click them in with a lens, and they're ready to go. You don't have to thread on any new plates, you don't have to add anything different each time. They're just in my bag with the plate set up, ready to click in and go. And this is definitely super helpful for anyone that does shoot weddings solo like I do, because if you're having to take the time to thread in a new base plate, or you have to take your camera off and use it on something else or switch it very quickly, the base plates just aren't really that practical. Where these are really small, they're not in the way, and they can just be adjusted and set up to anything else. I'll also put them on my lights and have them ready to go, that if I do have an extra tripod or a light stand around, instead of having to thread them in, I'll just click them in and they're good to go too. It makes moving lights or switching lights very simple. I always find that when I'm going from ceremonies to receptions, I'm using the same equipment, but I'm having to tear them down and then reset them up. So not having to take a base plate off or switching different pieces around, and just knowing that I have these set up on all my gear, I can just easily grab my camera, put it in, click it, it's all good to go. I don't have to worry about new base plates, any kind of confusion coming up with different base plates, or did the screw fall out, nothing like that. Everything's just set and ready to go. Especially in like a really bad situation, like what if your A camera accidentally stopped working and you needed to grab your B camera really quickly? Well, to take it on and off your gimbal, you don't want to have to take the base plate on, screw it off, try and rebalance it. With these, you just know that if it's the same camera system, it's going to be set up with the same weight. You can just click it in, your gimbal's good to go, you can keep using it when you're in a pinch. So yeah, I would definitely say that this is something that has changed my workflow and made my life a lot easier when I'm on sets. When you're in really quick-paced environments, these are key. You don't want to have to unscrew things, screw them back in. I think if it's going to save you even just a couple of seconds, or the headache or stress of being concerned on a wedding day especially, or even on a commercial shoot, it's definitely worth getting these. And I know that there are different options out there. I've just found personally that these work the best for me. They're low profile, they're very well made, and I just really like the design of these. They work really well for me. So as always, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What do you think about these quick release plates? And when you're down there, if you want to subscribe, that would be awesome. See you next time.